Welcome back to Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast, a weekly show brought to you by our show partner, Join Cycling. We have the Tour Down Under live. The Women's Tour Down Under has already finished. No transfers, thankfully. I mean, you never know. But we do have some news to catch up with. Photo shoots of some star riders on new teams. Route announcements. January normally brings some route announcements. Is there a trend? Because some of them have been shocking, actually. I mean, not in a bad way, just surprising shocking. We have an airbag modeled at a trade tech show that could be in use by, or I think currently is in use by professional riders, as well as Tour de France 2027 Grand Départ. But we have the men's TDU prologue on right now. Nothing better than starting the season than being in the country the race is on and pretty much being unable to watch it technically because the digital play doesn't work, and then there's no other way to watch it, and it's not on terrestrial TV. So I thought, let's just do the pod instead.
Stop gloating, my friend. Oh, I'm in the country where the race is happening. I'm not. I'm on the other side of the world. You can't watch it.
That's what I'm saying.
That is crazy.
Like, what better way, what more symbolic way to kick off the men's world tour season in being just 1 minute in? I was like, fuck it, I'll just watch the live timing on PCS. No free ads.
I've got it right here playing on my right.
Yep, sure you do. I mean, yeah, but you have to pay £50 per minute probably to do that.
Welcome to the UK.
Anyway, the women's Tour Down Under, 3 great days of racing. There was, if you just look at the results, you think that was predictable. I think the racing was anything but. The first stage maybe was. It was an uphill sprint. I think Virgilio was brought back really late. The rider in UNOX who was in the breakaway all day, but Ali Wollaston just dusted everybody in the sprint. But Naomi Rouge, I think she got up. No, she didn't. She came fourth, so she didn't get any bonies. So we were like, that's a bit... a bit strange. Well, not a bit strange. Like that could count against her. Femke Heresy was third. None of the other GC riders got any bonies. There was some sort of strange, like Movistar did a good job for Olivia Barril to get her bonies, but she didn't factor into the GC. UAE didn't get any bonies for their riders either. But yeah, that was basic sprint. Stage 2 was like a really hilly rolly stage, and the counter moves went, and it got brought back really late. I think it was. I was surprised that move got brought back, and there was a lot of like good tactical stuff to discuss. There was a group with Sarah Van Dam, who's now in Melissa Bike, Chloe Dygert, who's always good in TDU, and I think a UAE maybe. EF weren't in it, and this is a strategy from EF. It might be surprising. They got the world champ here, Valliers. She was 100% domestique duty the whole time.
Yeah.
And EF chased this back. Rook didn't go in the move. She definitely had the legs to do it. They had a plan. And then, yeah, that group also didn't cooperate. Were you surprised that move didn't go all the way?
Well, there was always the odds that it could potentially go all the way, but I wasn't necessarily shocked that it didn't go all the way. But the thing I do want to bring home is, the point that I want to bring home is, normally you've got a pure flat sprint in the Tour Down Under, in the women's Tour Down Under as well, and that's not really the case here. The first stage you mentioned, Wollaston won, but that was kind of a versatile uphill sprint on Wollonga Hill. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the second stage is to Paracoom, which is also relatively known as an area where it's not really flat sprints in the Tour Down Under usually. But what do you think, Patrick? We had the route announcement from the Tour de France. Alpe d'Huez was in the Tour de France as a little bump at the finish, right? Because they used a portion of the Alpe d'Huez climb to call the finish Alpe d'Huez. On stage 1 here, they do a portion of Wollonga Hill as a versatile sprint. Is it a cheat code to call the stage Wollonga Hill?
if it finishes in the Wollonga, it's a town, so it finishes in the Wollonga town, and yeah, it's an uphill sprint. I don't know if it was won by not Lecoq, it was won by someone else. They did use it in the men's. Bettiol went early a few years ago.
Actually,
but yeah, it is.
They didn't call it Wollonga Hills. So Wollonga,
yeah,
I get it. It's allowed.
You got to read the fine print. But that move got brought back, and then on stage 2, it was Wollaston that won it, but Rouge came second, so she took 6 bonies, and she also took a bony sprint throughout the day. and Josie Nelson came third for Picnic.
Again.
Blasi and Vladarchik were fourth and fifth, so UAE just missed out on the bonies again on that uphill sprint. So GC-wise, while the Rouge was like the leader, I would say, going into the final stage, Baril was looking pretty handy, 2 seconds behind her, and then the rest of the pack were on 7 seconds to Nomi Rouge. And then the third stage was an absolute cracker. They did 2 reps of the corkscrew climb, and then they went right at the top of it, descended into Campbelltown. If you don't know, that's a really fast, like flowy descent that gets progressively less steep, and you pedal it on the pedals the whole way. Really fun descent, but hard to get away from somebody. And then there was a flat road, a valley that was pivotal for like 10 Ks, and they did the corkscrew again, and then did the same descent to Campbelltown, where I think Amanda Spratz, she got beaten by Grace Brown. I swear Grace Brown was one of the past. First rep, they nuked it.
Yep. UAE was the team that actually nuked it, and it was a combination of Mavi Garcia together with Dominika Flodarczyk that really landed the hammer blow, I would say, on that climb, because almost everyone was dropping. Even Noemi Rouge, who you've been speaking about her twice in the first 2 stages as could she take bonus seconds? Yes, she did on stage 2. She got dropped on the first corkscrew by the tempo of Mavi Garcia first, and then after Rouge was off the back, then it was Vladarczyk that kept on pacing towards the top. But there was one person that was still in the wheel, Sarah Van Dam from Visma Lisa Bike. I'm still getting used to all the riders moving teams, because Sarah Van Dam, for example, we've looked at her as a very solid rider in the past, and now riding for Visma Lisa Bike. She was with those 2 riders over the top of the first corkscrew, and then we get into a bit of a situation where the gap in the valley goes up to 30, 35, 40 seconds towards the Noemi Rouge group. So we see UAE Team ADQ starting to roll attacks on Sarah Van Dam in that breakaway group, and it's actually successful because it leads to Vladarczyk getting away solo before the last climb. But Patrick, is this one of the moves that bites UAE Team ADQ in the ass later?
Well, I think both Van Dam and UAE Team ADQ made a mistake in the Van Dam not pulling's fine, but then if you're not going to pull, that means you're happy for the group behind to catch you.
Yeah.
But the problem is the gap then was it's like 50 seconds apparently to the group behind.
Yeah.
And then she started chasing when she started to get 1-2'd by Vladarczyk and Mavi Garcia. So, like, if to not pull, you then gamble, and then you say this is too early.
You
but then actually, I think you just go through and just 2 seconds, and then the UAE riders would have been happy.
Yep.
And then that would have been fine. And then I think those 3 fight out the stage win in GC. Like, I do not think the group behind was catching them. I think Mavi Garcia wins GC if that happens. I think she would have dropped them on corkscrew.
Once again, a massive shout out to Madeleine Valieres, who is also once again giving it all out in the valley in the group behind to try and bring Rouge back. Yes, the gap was excessive, but once the next corkscrew climb started and Vladarczyk was solo off the front, and Mavi Garcia and Sarah Van Dam were caught by I would say the peloton group, you can classify it. The gap was much smaller by the time the climb properly started. So on the final climb, the gap started melting to the point that we see Noemi Rouge making a move in that second group with a couple of riders in our wheel. Once again, the likes of Mavi Garcia, also Paola Blasi. So we're getting into a situation that is creating a 1v3. Rouge versus 3 UAE riders, and Rouge actually catches up with the UAE riders in the wheel to Vladarczyk, because Vladarczyk was melting, right?
Garcia was pulling.
Yeah, the last portion was Garcia, right?
So Garcia started to pull when Vladarczyk was still ahead with Noemi Rouge in the wheel. And Vladarczyk, so I think the first corkscrew they did in 8:08, fastest ever by far, like way quicker than previous years. So the women's level is just going up. This is also not demi-volering. This is not Royce, or footballing for Prevost. They just nuked their old record. 8:08 first rep. Second rep, they did an 8:10. I think Vladarczyk, she started with like 35 seconds. She had a good gap, but the work in the valley, the difference between Rouge, who was sitting in the wheels, and Vladarczyk like collapsed. Still had a big enough gap to make it over, but yeah, it wasn't helped that Garcia was closing it. Then Blasi, who's the most explosive of the three UAEs. Blasi's quick, good sprint, young rider. Well, new to pro cycling. She like was in the Catalan like amateur scene and got picked up. Was already really good last year. And anyway, she attacks and she's got a gap basically.
Yeah.
Rook cannot respond. Garcia closes the gap and smoothly bridges Rook back to the wheel. I'm convinced Rook is not closing that gap. At least not easily.
I'm not completely sure she can't close that gap because what follows after is a pretty strong performance by Rook, but I fully agree with you. This is once again a mistake by UAE Team ADQ. The gap was created because Vlodarczyk, who was in the wheel of Blasi, actually drops out of the train because she can't follow Blasi anymore. That's how the gap gets created. And for Garcia to then close the gap instead of forcing Rook to do so, I'm sorry, but this ain't the local kermesse in Belgium, so you can't afford to do that. You're helping your competitor close gaps, and especially Noémie Rook, who benefits from the fact that it's a steady tempo. And from that point onwards, it stays a steady tempo because Blasi is literally hard pacing the rest of the climb with Mavi Garcia in the wheel, and they restart rolling attacks once the descent starts. And yes, on paper, rolling attacks goes better on a 3% gradient than a 8% gradient because there's more draft to play with in your rolling attacks. But in a descent, with a rider like Rook, you're trying to roll attacks on, that's not going to be effective, you know?
The problem is the attacks were like quite telegraphed. The riders in front weren't slowing down enough to create a speed differential from the rider attacking behind. Vlodarczyk had the right idea. She was going like off the wheel and attacking into the draft. Also the problem is, they were holding back Blasi maybe. There was like it seemed like there was communication issues between Blasi and Garcia. Blasi is the most explosive, but the problem is Rook is so explosive that she like snaps onto the wheel quickly, and then she's actually getting free draft while the other UAEs are off the wheel, and then she was actually recovering. Anyway, they get to the final, and then Noémie Rook just dusts everybody in the sprint. UAE didn't know if they were doing the lead out for Blasi or attacking. It was a very, very entertaining finish. Twice in less than a year that EF roll a super team that had a 3-on-1 advantage on them.
The Mavi Garcia activities that we pointed out as potential tactical mistakes here, I was kind of thinking, okay, maybe that's just tactical mistakes, or maybe it's a part of hierarchy issues, because for me it does look weird when Rook is dusting them at the finish, and Mavi Garcia hurries herself to finish ahead of her teammate Paula Blasi at the finish. To me, there seems like a bit of a thing in Mavi Garcia's head that she's not comfortable with losing from her younger teammate. Is that a weird thing to say?
But it was strange in the valley. Like they would have beaten Van Damme, I think. Pretty like they could have rolled her on the climb. They could have she was also but I guess she wasn't working, so that's the difference. I guess I get the criticism to not riding with her in the valley and so forth, but that's also with a bit of hindsight thought of Rook coming back from a 50-second gap. For me, that's not the biggest mistake. For me, that I can understand rolling attack successfully as well on Van Damme in that valley. I can understand going for that strategy. It's more the Mavi Garcia closing down a teammate with Rook in the wheel, that kind of stuff. That's a bit more inexcusable. So that's where mistakes were made for me. And it's not the biggest tactical disaster class I've seen, but they certainly fucked up a little bit. Yeah, but anyway, Noémie Rook wins GC at the TDU Women's 2 years in a row and wins the final stage. Very, very entertaining, and she couldn't believe it. Strong performance, and very selfless performance from the
mate
Valliers, who is the reigning world champ. Really, she was the reason it happened.
1,000 UCI points in GC for UAE Team ADQ by getting second, third, and fourth.
There you go. But Vlodarczyk showing that her form in the TDF last year wasn't some sort of fluke. They smashed the record on corkscrew. So we're going to see some quick times in the women's this year. But if you want to make your times quicker, or if you're more into analyzing your training, this is a big one for those of you who've been using Join Cycling for a long time or just a brief time, or maybe you're on the fence. Join has launched Join Plan. Join Plan is live. It's a brand new web dashboard that gives you deeper insights into your training without changing what makes Join different. So if you're into the data, you want to know a bit more about what's coming up, your history, etc., you can see your training status at a glance, fitness, fatigue, form, your FTP history, your power trends over different durations, and view your entire training plan calendar all the way to the end. It's all clearly laid out in Join Plan. The key thing here is Join still does the thinking for you. It's still adapting to you. This just helps you understand why you're doing what you're doing if you're into that, which coincidentally I am. It works on desktop and mobile. So you just head to plan.join.cc. You log in with your Join account. It's really easy. You just scan the QR code and then it's available to active subscribers. It's currently in beta, so feedback is welcome that it's in beta. But I know that many people wanted a web dashboard and it's here. And yeah, go check it out. And give Join feedback. They love the feedback, especially from a lot of the listeners. We know that you all use Join Cycling, and I'm really happy that this plan's launched, and it's something that I'll personally be using as well. Men's TDU's kicked off. We've got a prologue, 3.6Ks around Adelaide. It looks like Sam Watson's going to win that by half a second ahead of Ethan Vernon. I don't think anyone's going to go better than him. But the road stages, we have a sprint tomorrow in the Tanunda Wine stage. It's the easy side of Mengler's Hill, but even the hard side last year was a Welsford stage win where Brennan nearly won. So they do it's the lap in reverse, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Because last year, I think Welsford got in trouble a little bit on Mengler's Hill. But if it's the easy side now, this is the purest sprint, I would say, in this entire race, together with maybe is stage 3 or stage 4. But stage 2 is definitely not a pure sprint. I think that is something we can classify as from Norwood to Uradla, which includes twice the corkscrew climb, which is 3.6 yet 6.7%. But that's a bit of a fake news gradient because it goes into steeper portions during that climb as well. But the important factor is, Patrick, this climb tops with about 12, 13, 14 kilometers to go. Do we feel like there's a reality where we see a similar scenario like the Javier Romo stage last year, where we get a couple riders over the top and then a group dynamic can create a certain rider riding away?
Yeah, I think so. That was like the Trek stage where they had 3 riders, and with like Philipsen, Baggioli, and Conrad. Conrad's back here, same with Baggioli. And that corkscrew climb, yeah, it's hard. So it will create a selection. I think that climbing section's harder than Willunga, but as you say, because it's not a pure hilltop finish, then will people get away on the roads? Who's going to work? Yeah, who's going to come back? Can Corbin Strong survive? Can Brennan survive?
Yeah,
it's probably too hard for Watsons of the world. It's definitely too hard for Welsford. Will Jay Vine? He'll probably go on the attack, and if he goes on the attack, will Narvaez win the sprint? So UAE, the reason they have the 2 favourites is because they're covered in either scenario. If there's attacking to be done, you would assume Jay Vine is there doing it himself probably. If it comes back to a group of 10 sprint of tiny boys, then Narvaez has got a proven track record winning them. And bonus seconds is what normally decides this race, although the prologue gaps are bigger than I expected. So Finn Fisher-Black is currently in a pretty good hot seat, GC hot seat. He's not the actual hot seat, but GC-wise, he's looking good. But yeah, that's a key stage. Stage 3 to Nairn is a hilly sprint stage. I think that'll just be an uphill sprint, frankly. Willunga Hill is stage 4. That's a 7 or 6.5 minute climb. It's 180 Ks. It's supposed to be hot on Saturday, so it's longer than normal. It's 30, 40 Ks longer than normal. They do 3 reps, not 2.
What do they think? It's going to be -5 degrees?
What about?
It's always going to be hot in that country.
It was pretty cool in Adelaide last week, I think.
What is pretty cool in Australian terms? Like 25 degrees?
Riders had arm warmers on. I saw them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I swear last year when we went there, I was burning alive every day.
Yeah, last year was really, really hot. Yeah. Sterling circuits for the last stage, 7 laps of a very hilly course, like 3,000 meters plus climbing, 3.5K, 170 Ks. The final climb is like 3.5 Ks, 3.6%. I think it's hard enough that there'll be GC attacking from a vine. It's also a good, Brennan, Narvaez, Corbin Strong, uphill sprint type operation. So I think it's a pretty hard course. I think Welsford, I don't see a 3-win Welsford year here again.
Yeah, that's impossible. That's for sure. There's only 2 races, 2 stages here where he can actually be competitive for the stage win, is how I view it. And that's why a rider like with Lund Andresen, you've got the potential, like there's 2 flat sprints, but who knows, he might compete in a versatile sprint in Sterling if it's a passively ridden Sterling, which is a final stage, so it probably won't be passively ridden. But Brennan is the one where he can compete in more than 2 stages. That's the line where, as a sprinter, he can compete in more. The question then is, can he compete in more than sprints? And that's where it gets intriguing, because Willunga Hill, I don't really see it. I hope to see him as close as possible for the sake of panache and fun. But on paper, I'd say, okay, versatile sprint, he can win 2-3 stages here. What I'm interested in, Patrick, can he win the white jersey? Because there's barely any young people in this race.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought this race is when you only send the...
Look at the start list. Look at the little asterisks, whatever you call them.
I was looking at the women's start list. That's not too helpful. UAE's got a very experienced team.
That's one way to say old.
It's a very young age cutoff, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going through this list and I see like maybe 10 riders in total that fit.
Like a Svested Bard saying.
Yeah, that's the one, I think.
This is crazy. Wait, so like a...
Leonard, though, he's pretty good.
Callum Thornley isn't eligible for white?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
He's a neo-pro.
Did I just discover extra UCI points for you?
I don't know if you get extra UCI points for... like Marco Brenner's not eligible for the white jersey. I guess he's been pro for like 5 years, but still. Okay,
it's
I guess Brenner should walk that by default. So that's Wow, I must admit, I didn't look into the Tour Down Under white jersey competition.
Really, it's the first thing I did.
Yes.
Nah, I was just very curious what Brennan could win. So that's why I was like, can he win GC? Probably not. Can he win the white jersey and the green jersey and 3 stages? Yes.
I think Fisher Black's going to win GC because recency bias, his prologue is good, and also I think a headwind is getting stronger in the prologue, so I think there's actually going to be he'll have a fair delta of time on Narvaez. I think Narvaez is going to lose a fair bit of time in the prologue.
I thought you were about to say headwind's growing in the Stam Trail, so it's going to be a headwind on Willunga Hill. I thought it was like, that's a bit of a stretch.
I think Willunga Hill is the same direction, more or less.
Well, a few days
Willunga
apart.
Hill is the same direction. I'll just go with Fisher Black to win GC. I think Brennan cleans up a couple of stages, and I think the bunch sprint tomorrow could be pretty interesting. See how Welsford goes. Caleb Ewan's been humiliating all the pro sprinters, he's been convincing them to do town sign sprints.
Yeah,
maybe he's doing it out the coffee shop where their legs are sleepy, but he's been destroying them.
Yeah, legs are sleepy, but it's also, if you're Danny Van Poppel, why would you accept the town sign sprint against Caleb Ewan, who by default has much better acceleration than you? That was the strength of Caleb Ewan.
Could Caleb Ewan, he could be signed, right?
You said he was a top 5 sprinter in the world 5 days ago on the podcast or something, so.
29th rider.
I'm not sure he wants to.
He's
going
got
to
a
replace
podcast
Simon
now.
Yates, is what you're saying.
That's what I was alluding to, yeah. You lead out. Well, I don't know what your lead out's been previously. You got Van Aert, Laporte, and Behrens and Affini. If you fucking put him in the middle of those 4, and then just go do the town sign sprint, it'll get posted on. We'll do vertical reels for TikTok, Instagram. We can do collab posts on the podcast. It'd be sweet.
You don't even need to send them as like a leader. You can send them to smaller races and just take a couple of wins. That's fine. Stack the board.
Yeah, but he won't do that.
The
You
Pune
think Caleb Ewan wants to get his elbows, sharpen the elbows for Le Semaine?
Does he need to sharpen his elbows for the Pune Grand Tour, my friend?
Pune Grand Tour. So yeah, who's your pick for the men's TDU?
My pick for the men's TDU, I actually love the Fisher Black pick, but I'm not going to go the same. I'm going for UAE could go either way. I'll go for J Vine riding away on the Uradla stage.
Yeah, but Vine has won this race before, so I'm just not watching Fiorelli's T1.
Buddy, it's Fiorelli. Get over it. His time was actually good. He's third at the first time check.
Let's go! You serious? I can't get it to load.
Yes.
You trolling me?
He's second. Second it updated. He's going up.
No.
Yes.
Dude, he's gone out way too hard. Let me get the victory lap in now, Benji. It's not going to get better than here. Let me get the victory in now.
18th at the second time check.
I got tossed too late. I had 1 minute. To do the victory lap.
The live reaction.
So you do a positive split. No, you do negative split, then positive split, then negative split. So he's got a new pacing plan. It's called a parabola. It's called parabola pacing plan.
Oh, yeah. Fiorelli, what happened, buddy?
Fuck. Alrighty. We move on. Okay, that's the TDU. Benji's picked J Vine. I think that's not a bad shout either. So I know. Okay, well, I was going to do the Tour de France 2027 Grand Départ, but Benji mentioned another Grand Tour that's on at the moment. It's the Pune Grand Tour. It's the first, I think, UCI race of the year, or maybe the Vuelta al Taquira, which did happen actually. By the way, Venezuela, it went ahead. That finished early, but yeah, there's a race in India, the Pune Grand Tour, and I know there's a lot of European teams there, Burgos Piace, and crowds are big, so it looks cool. And yeah, I'm just glad. I don't know. You brought it up, so do you have any thoughts?
I'd love
on
to
it?
go to the Pune Grand Tour. Sorry, but the most badass thing you can do if you're like a tiny race is to call yourself a Grand Tour in your name. You're basically the fourth Grand Tour by default. Like, imagine if the Tour Down Under was called Australian Grand Tour. Sounds pretty good to me, no?
Tour of Australia.
Tour of Australia. That's such
TDU is a good name.
Yeah, it's a good name. It's a good name.
TDU is a good name. Like, what is Romandy?
That's a region in Switzerland, my friend.
Is it the Romanche region?
I don't fucking know.
No, it's not. It's just the French-speaking part of Switzerland.
Anyway, Tour de France Grand Départ. The
Tour de
actual
France.
stages.
Tour de France.
Go ahead.
You got them?
I have them in front of me.
Everyone knows the Grand Départs. The Grand Départs in 2027. It begins in the north in Scotland. Well, that's not the north of England, obviously. But it begins in Scotland, the north of the UK. Then it goes down to Liverpool, and then so that's the English stage. Then there's a Welsh stage. No Belfast, Northern Irish stage. I think RCS would have managed to swing it. They would have they would have made sure there was a stage around Northern Ireland as well, so that they could have an extra transfer day or whatnot. But 3 countries in the first 3 stages. But what does it look like, Benji?
What do you mean? What does it look like? As parkour wise, pretty flat, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like the first 2 stages seemingly look to be sprints, and maybe the Cardiff Welsh stage is the more punchy one with some 8% gradients on 2 kilometer climb. 8%, I think, is the last climb, if I recall correctly. So we're looking at a more versatile stage on stage 3, but the first 2 are sprint stages. By the way, there's also the women's stages were announced, Patrick, as well. And those are more England-based. Leeds Manchester is stage 1, Manchester Sheffield is stage 2, and then a London-based stage is stage 3. So that's kind of what we're looking at in terms of those stages. But more importantly, we can talk about the in-depth ongoings of the stages, being sprint stages, being punchy stages, are we going to be there, my friend?
In 2027.
Yeah.
Yeah. we will definitely go the British Grand Départ. I'm surprised it's all three are pretty easy. I think all three are sprints.
Yeah, the third one is the one with the hills, you know? So that's where you're like,
okay,
maybe?
but it's 13 Ks from the finish. It's not that hard.
Yeah, but how hard is the climb?
It's like 2 Ks, 8%.
That's pretty. You can make a difference on that. You can do something.
Okay, who's making a difference?
Well, I don't know. It's not 27. Visma Lisa bike is blowing it up for Matthew Brennan.
It's too far. No, yeah, but it's still a sprint.
Yeah, well, versatile sprint, sure, deal. Okay. Agree.
I'm just surprised. Like, there's some, I guess you want it to finish in town centers. But yeah, there'll be 3 sprints. But yeah, that's the Grand Départ. Released another French big race. Yeah, I was hoping for like a Lake District or some sort of, at least a puncher finish would have been nice, because then you have Van der Poel, Pogacar, Van Aert, whoever, GC guys, plus the other top names, Pedersen, competing against each other. So I was hoping for a punchy uphill finish, like a 1K 7%er. But anyway, Tour de l'Avenir has changed format, so it is now allowing trade teams. So 10 UCI Devo teams will be at the start, all the big ones that you'd expect. Quickstep, UAE, Visma, Tudor, Lidl, etc., Ineos as well, the Ineos Grenadiers Racing Academy. And this matches what was already happening in the Baby Giro, and it will also... So it's a 2.2 U race, so it's on the international U23 calendar, and it is... I guess this must be a money thing. Like, does it make it easier for the diva to run the race?
So to be clear, we come from a situation where it's country-based, nation-based, where countries would send a team of a certain amount of riders to the Tour de l'Avenir. I feel like there were certain years where certain countries did not send a team to the Tour de l'Avenir. And that takes away opportunities for certain riders. If you're talented enough, you're probably going to be on one of the development teams that is existent. But then again, it seems to be the development teams that are part of the World Tour pipelines. Are we monopolizing the talent pool at the Tour de l'Avenir in World Tour development teams instead of having still opportunities for riders that might not be on our teams? For example, Del Toro, when he won the race, was not on one of these development teams. Will there still be countries in the races like the team of Mexico where Del Toro will get an opportunity? Hypothetically, a few years ago.
I actually
you know
don't
what I mean?
know.
It's a valid question, right?
I don't actually know. Reading the press release.
Luke says there will still be nations, but there will be less spots.
So isn't that just going to mean that fucking every Scandinavian rider that's already overrepresented on every Devo team will then also have... Oh, actually, no, their federation won't pay for anything, one of them. Yeah, I would say this doesn't sound like it's going to be a good thing for talented riders in countries where there's that doesn't have a rich federation or isn't on a World Tour Devo team. So I would say this makes it even more so that riders are going to be fighting to get onto a Devo team is like to go to the university to then become a lawyer. If you don't even get onto the Devo team, you don't even get to race l'Avenir, you don't get to race these big races. How do you get scouted then? And so it just means, late bloomers, it's going to become even harder, I would guess. I
think so too.
It already is. It has become rare. Like when you look at the average age of the Neo Pros in cycling this year at World Tour level, I think it's like 3 riders over 23.
Yeah.
Out of everyone turning professional, maybe 4. It's crazy. Okay, that's Tour de l'Avenir. Other route announcements. So, yes?
Talking about crazy, Tirreno Adriatico parcours. let's jump into that, because we've got these 7 stages announced, and the first glaring obvious fact is there's no mountaintop finish. We start with a usual 10-kilometer time trial at the coast of Lido di Camaggiore. Then we've got a, I would say, punchy uphill finish on stage 2. We've got a flat sprint on stage 3. We've got a versatile sprint / punchy stage, depending on how hard the last couple of climbs are, on stage 4. Then stage 5 is a uphill finish. It's not a mountain finish. It's a combination between a hill and a medium mountain. I'd say hilly most of all. Stage 6 is once again a hilly stage. That's more of the moody stage. So those are some of the steeper climbs in there. And then stage 7, we've got a flat sprint stage. So no pure mountain here. But the first reactions I saw on the internet, Patrick, was, oh, the likes of Filippo Ganna, they're building a parkour for him. I don't see that either. The stage with the moody looks too hard for someone like Ganna. We spoke about the Jorgensen Pyrenees versus Tirreno kind of choice, I think a week ago on the Visma Lisa Bike podcast that we did. And then I look at this parkour of Tirreno Adriatico, and it doesn't shock me that Jorgensen is riding that, because the parkour really fits a rider like Jorgensen. I'm not saying he's the favorite. I'm still thinking it's great for Del Toro and so forth as well. But it's those type of riders that can do the hilly, smaller, medium mountain stuff, the steep climbs on the shorter climbs, and a bit of a time trial at the start. Those are the favorites here. So, are you surprised by no mountain?
Yeah, I am surprised. Although, yeah, there is looks like a 10-minute steep finish. So there is a 10-minute finish. That's worse for Ganna than a 20-minute 6% finish. It's about the gradient. And like you say, Benji, this repeated steep short climbs, and that they're not just that short. They're not like a classic. They're pretty decent hills. I think positioning's important. So Jorgensen's, I guess he had his when you know the Pyrenees route first came out, it was pretty obvious. Holy shit, with the TTT, that's also a great Jorgensen route. But likewise, he probably won't get a better Tirreno route. Same with Del Toro, who's good on the gravel. Same with and UAE, you know, he has a good ITT on him. Ayuso, 10-minute effort. Yeah, I think it's a good.
Yeah.
Is he doing Pyrenees? He's doing Pyrenees. Who's doing it for Trek?
Oh,
G, I guess.
G or Skelmose?
No, Skelmose
is not. He's also doing Pyrenees.
Ayuso at Pyrenees.
Oh yeah, because they're coupled the entire year. Remember?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's funny.
Let me see. Tirreno Adriatico start list. Guess UAE will have.
Who's doing it for Bora though?
I'm out.
I can't spell Adriatico.
Roglic, Jai Hindley. It's a pretty good Roglic route. It's like the route he won. I think it's a really good Roglic route. I know, you know, yes, he might have an issue on the gravel, but if Roglic doesn't crash, he's actually quick on gravel. He just can't crash.
For the people that haven't heard it, which stage is the gravel stage again?
I don't actually know.
I think it's stage 5 or 6. 6 is the moody stage. I think it's 5 then. No?
I think, can Van der Poel please do this race?
Oh no,
like
it is.
He did it last year.
It is the second stage is the Strade stage.
Okay. Well, this route, they've heard our prayers where we're like, 2021 was the best one-week stage race ever. They just made 6 of the stages a Murray's, like one of those stages. And we got Alaphilippe, we got Van Aert. I hope we have Van der Poel as well. Del Toro's in the mix. Roglic. This looks like a cracker. So, DeLee, good race for him. I'm actually pumped. I'm getting a bit hyped. Can you feel it? Can you feel you starting to get excited for the season?
Your monotone voice is slowly but surely changing into like, woo, like R2D2.
Oh yeah, I was watching. Yeah, because I was watching Nick Mullen clip today, and I was like, oh, jeez.
Is that the brother of Ryan?
I want it. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, sort of. Maybe one slightly better comedic value, but it's like I gotta stay enjoying podcasting, and I do, because the only way you're going to enjoy it is if you actually enjoy the
Man.
underlying thing that you're covering. And I'm
Ryan's
pumped for
Ryan
this
Mullen's DMs or Ryan Mullen's tweets were pretty comedic a few years ago.
So funny. It's so funny.
I think a lot of people won't get that joke. That's a while ago.
No, basically, I'll explain it. The Ryan Mullen like moved 25 meters to his left after doing a lead out in UAE tour, and I did the highlight video, and I was like, oh, it's like probably not great. It's a bit unsafe.
Because he did into the peloton, basically. I'll add that context. That's my opinion.
And listen, other professional riders like DM me being like, yeah, it's not okay. And it wasn't us just being like sprint deviation nerds. And then on Twitter he basically just said I was a virgin. Didn't know what I was talking about. So anyway.
Brilliant. Anyway.
That still cracks me up. But yeah, that's maybe he sometimes his brother Nick Mullen writes some of his lines for him, I would think. But yeah, Paris also has a soft route. Andalusia, I think, has a pretty soft route, although and then Valencia has a pretty soft route, although I think their profiles are a bit misleading because they made a Miserat look like a little hill. I was like, that's a 12-minute 12% wall. Is this a trend? Is this the backlash?
I'm not sure about the backlash, but I do think it's a trend. I think you see closer racing on such medium mountain stages / hilly stages than a mountain finish where Pogacar can take 3 minutes straight forward. Obviously, when they make the parkour, they probably don't know yet if Pogacar shows up, stuff like that. But I am not against it. I do like a mountain every now and then, that is for sure. But I don't necessarily hate seeing an easier parkour of Tirreno and Paris-Nice either, because it gives the option for riders like, Volkeland to go for Paris-Nice GC. That's the idea that I have around it. So I enjoy that it maybe differentiates the type of rider that can win the GC at one of these 1 week races. Might actually help the French World Tour drought a little bit in terms of stage races. Where we can't say it happens every time, right? Because before we finalize this point, I do want to bring home this other fact. The UAE Tour parkour was announced yesterday, Patrick, as of recording at least, and there's a notable change-up. Jebel Jais is no more. We've got in the men's UAE Tour parkour a new mountain, and the new mountain, I gotta say, looks like if Angliru and Puy de Dôme decided to make a baby, this is what the climb would look like in my head. It is in total roughly 15 kilometers at, I think, 8.6% average, but it's the second half that is literally almost 7 kilometers at 12% average up to 17%. Did they build this mountain last week just to have a new one in the race?
So on Google Street View, you can only go halfway up. It's a guy recording the images on a motocross bike, and they've still got the mountain under construction. It's apparently there's landslides on Jebel Jais, so I don't know what the timing is, but they can't use Jebel Jais, I heard.
How? Did they misbuild it in the past?
I'm dialed in. I'm dialed into what if there is any structure being built in the Gulf, I am all across it, and if it could potentially be used for a cycling event. And
Oligarch Patrick at it again.
They're going to use Jebel Mora. This is the hardest climb used in I think definitely World Tour racing all season.
Is there an Angliru at the Vuelta this year?
No.
No way. I think you are correct.
No Zonkel.
There is that one climb in the Banyuwangi race in Indonesia, Patrick. I want you to look up the international tour of Banyuwangi Ijen. The final stage has a 12 12.6 kilometer, 9.6% climb with gradients up to 21%, 25% throughout. Banyuwangi Ijin. That is one of the hardest climbs in the sport of cycling, and nobody talks about it.
They don't.
Did you find it?
They don't. But maybe if they had Vingegaard and Del Toro doing it, it could get a bit more press. But that's a super hard climb. This will be super hard too. It's going to take. It really looks like the Anglerud. There's even because of the 3K 8.5% section before, and then a short little descent. The road surface could make it even harder. I don't think this is going to be beautiful, low rolling resistance road surface either. And I wonder what the pinches on it look like, how irregular it is, whether it has the like absolute 20% sections of the Anglerud. But the Del Toro must have seen that and thought, you can't be serious. Like, what do I have to do? I mean, this suits the absolute diminutive Lenny Martinez's, the Gaudu, Valentin Paris-Pantra, the really, really Adam Yates, the tiny climbers, and the Del Toro's. Yeah, I mean, Del Toro might have to. I'm not sure he'll get up it, but we'll.
The disrespect to Isaac Del Toro.
Carapaz's got to do UAE tour now. And Carapaz and Del Toro refuse to ride at their own threshold on this climb, despite there being no draft advantage, and they just let everyone else, they're track standing, looking at each other, being like, "Nah, you go first, please."
Wait. Does this mean the winner of UAE Tour will retire at the end of the season?
yes. Whoever wins Onjagom, whoever wins GC at UAE Tour will. I mean, who is it going to be?
I don't know, but can I just add for a second? Who is going to be? UAE Tour previews for in a couple of weeks, buddy. We're not talking about that yet. The winner should be Jonas Vingegaard.
Lenny Martinez.
I don't know if he's going to show up in Algarve form last year or in actual form of Vingegaard, but he should be the favorite on paper for this race because Pogacar is not present. That's the reality of the situation. But I want to bring this part here in. Why can the UAE build climbs, but can they not build any climbs with a road that goes down so we can actually have a multi-mountain stage for once?
I think the problem is, they don't have multiple climbs in the same area to chain together. I don't think, but I also...
They're building them! Yeah. Build them closer to each other!
No, like this, Benji, this mountain existed before.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I thought they built a mountain
road up it. I don't think so.
They can afford to build a mountain next to it. If the Netherlands can do it.
Well, the Netherlands also didn't build it. It was just rubbish that they just then put some grass over, as I understand it, in the Bamberg. But
who put the rubbish there?
Yeah, that's the UAE Tour.
Not nature.
They put... True. Benji, Luke says it was a trash storage.
He would defend the Netherlands. Not shocked. I think the UAE Tour can do better at building parkour. They're building physical hills for the World Championships in Abu Dhabi in 3 years. 2 years. Oh my God, I'm getting old. Yeah, but
that's because Abu Dhabi doesn't have them around, in that region. And they want to both finish in Abu Dhabi and have Pog win. So
if there's no mountains around, build them.
Pog will have retired by then because he is going to have to do UAE Tour 2027, and then he'll be off.
After losing this one.
Because UAE will lose this one because they put in an Anglerud, and then he has to do it next year, then he'll be off it. It's all sliding doors moment.
Honestly,
and
Del Toro would have been much more of a favorite if it was Jais instead of this. Hafid is still hard enough, though. But...
if he has the IT... yeah, but Hafid's not that steep.
Yeah. This makes it harder for Del Toro to win on paper.
Yeah, much harder. Okay, so, but generally speaking, a lot of the routes have been kind of soft. So, like the Andalusia route's crazy soft. So, I don't know if that's a trend. Definitely Paris and Tirreno have soft, punchy routes. Could be better racing, to be honest. So, we'll see. We'll see. The Vuelta had a million mountaintop finishes, and I think me and Benji said that was one of the worst races we ever had to cover. Red Bull have done a photo shoot. It was it was published yesterday. I did want to cover this because it got 50,000 likes on Instagram. It is the Trident. So the Movistar Trident is dead, although respect Pescador, Otterbrook's must. But the Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe Trident is Roglic, Remco, and Florian Lipovitz. They are positioned. Remco is at the front of the Trident, and nothing is coincidental. So Remco is big boss number one. Some people are more equal than others. Roglic is in a grey suit with then the Red Bull jersey on underneath, and then a specialized base layer. And then they're all wearing trainers, which, sort of suits and trainers shouldn't be allowed. Remco is the same. Lipovitz has the tie. Why do you think, and no jacket on? Remco's kind of in a bomber jacket. It's a loose fitting, with a zip. It's not a suit jacket. What do you make of Lipovitz wearing the tie?
Ooh, I think he's trying to make a statement here. I think he's trying to say that the Tour de France is his. I've got the tie on. I am the boss in this situation, and Remco's not wearing one, so I've got one step ahead. That's what I feel when I see this picture. And I gotta say, Roglic with the full fit. Roglic is a pretty good-looking man. I'm saying it. I'm sorry, but I think that's the case. And there's been a bit of criticism on this post by Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe showing these riders in a photo shoot situation. Oh, it's ugly with the cycling shirt under it, blah blah blah. Why so negative? Like, I'm sorry, but everybody's talking about it. It's working. I enjoy it. Like, the one thing is, I have no clue what brand it's for. Is it just the photo shoot, or is it for like Boss or something?
It's just a photo shoot, right?
I don't know.
I can't see that. I'm not logged. Is Boss tagged?
I don't know. I haven't looked into that.
I don't have Instagram logged in on my desktop, so I can't.
I'm looking
see
up Red Bull, buddy. Red Bull BE. That's not it. Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. There we go. I click on it.
It's just the three riders.
It's just the three riders.
Bottom. So Remco's the only one wearing a belt. Does that mean, and the others aren't, is that concerning that Lipovitz and Roglic don't need a belt to hold up their trousers?
Are you saying that it means that Remco is skinnier and therefore is better looking for the climbing?
I mean, I see this now, and I think Remco, I'm a bit worried now for UAE Tour. Like, if they've obviously fit them up with pants that probably don't need a belt, and he's got one on.
Why is that a bad thing?
And it looks quite cinched at the waist.
There's a steep climb on the parkour, so...
Yeah, I'm worried Remco's going to dust everybody.
Oh. I don't know.
Yeah, anyway.
What do you think of the shoes?
That was cool. You know what I think of the shoes.
What do you think of the shoes?
It's obviously fucked up. I mean, it's horrendous, but
it's an abomination. How dare they do that to each other? It's like we're vague posting.
I think Lipovitz has got like, you can't wear trainers in a suit. I don't want to be setting too many rules, but it's not like we're the sartorialist either, but you can't wear trainers in a suit.
I've got a question, Patrick. Looking at this picture, for example, we know that there's a new James Bond movie in the working. We know that the James Bond has not been cast yet. Which cyclists would be the best casting for James Bond?
For James Bond?
You know who that is, right? They've got that in Australia, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking, though. After British.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so.
I think an Eastern European James Bond would be kind of
probably
sick.
Lucas Kubish. Lucas Kubish looks dead set like Timothy Olyphant in Hitman.
Nah, Lucas Kubish looks like a James Bond villain.
Yeah, no, he looks like the lead in Hitman, who is
Oh,
when
you're
he
right.
has a shaved head.
With the barcode on his head.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Probably Geraint Thomas, to be honest. Geraint Thomas has got the personality for it, where he's like doing a bit that he's incompetent, but he's probably more competent than, you know, he's like, oh, you know, cycling's a bit of a laugh. It's like, well, you won the Tour de France, mate, so you are obviously pretty dedicated and pretty good at it. And he's the right age, so I think it's Geraint Thomas. He's popular. Yeah.
Clock darling, I'm trying to go through the pictures and I'm not getting a full James Bond vibe. Anyway, we'll have to ask the audience this. If you have a good pick, drop it in the comments section on YouTube or podcast players. What else do we have to talk about today, buddy?
It could be what's his name? Oscar Onley in a few years. Speaking of like actors, I always say like to Grisha that he looks like Guy Pearce, and he's like, I think that I don't see it. I'm like,
Grisha looks like Guy Pearce. I see it.
Dead ringer.
I'm trying to look at something.
He was in Memento. What's he been doing?
I'm gonna send you a name. I'm gonna send you a name in chat right now. His name is Danila Kozlovsky. And I want you to tell me, this is an actor from the show Vikings. Danila Kozlovsky, I've sent it in chat to you. Which rider does he look like?
Like, which photos do you want me to look at? Him as a Viking?
I think...
Or just generally?
Just imagine him with a beard. It's instantly, you look at him, right? Not with the long hair, with the short hair. Bro, it's Roglic, come on.
No, he looks nothing like
Yes,
Roglic.
That's bullshit. That's some class A bullshit.
Oh. Benji just goes to Eastern Europe and he just thinks every man looks like Roglic. Cancel him. I don't see it.
Really?
I think he looks like... No, I don't see it. His face too big. Cheeks too big.
Well, he's not a cyclist, so we can't expect him to be super skinny,
that's the
can we?
problem. The cyclists don't look like any other human. We should do matching actors to cyclists. We should make that a regular part of the weekly show. We say, who do cyclists look like? Or who's the most... I'll try that again, yeah. Okay, there's one more bit of news. It's the Plouf airbag. So at a trade show in France, in like I don't know, it's called Belgium, called the...
I'm trying to hear you explain this. In France, where you're trying to steal our trade shows now, France, is what you're saying. It's Velo Follies, right? In Belgium?
Velo Follies. Is it in Belgium?
It's in Kortrijk normally, I think.
All right, Kortrijk. It's in Flanders. And anyway, it has like new age, like cutting edge tech. Some of it's, just concept designs. It's really cool stuff. There was a Van Rysel shoe or like whole shoe pedal system that looked, they're like, the intention is not for it to be part of racing or ever be like approved by the UCI. And I was like, I hope not, because if you try to, you won't be able to unclip from that and you'll like compound fracture your ankle. But anyway, this on the other spectrum of safety is this airbag design, which apparently is being tested by Picnic Post NL. Picnic Post NL also one of the first teams, I think, to have like the extra padding or different material on the hips of the riders to reduce road rash. Anyway, I watched some of the videos because I was really skeptical. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
And then I'll be honest, I think in 10 years, every single professional race, it'll be mandatory for every rider to have one of these, and all the riders will be like, how did we race without these?
I actually think the same. Maybe not in 10 years, because I think the UCI is very slow in deciding such things. But I do think this is a step forward in my belief that this could work, because I was expecting something that looked way more padded, that would change the traditional beliefs of the sport, how a cyclist would look like on a bicycle. And while I have no issue with a cycling jersey being thicker but much more safe necessarily, I think a lot of people that watch the sport will be like, I don't like this change. But with this, it barely looks like there's a difference in the first place. And I feel like, I'm not a watcher of motorbike sports, but I swear in motorsports, stuff like this is by default. This is already implemented in place. Obviously, there's thicker garments around their bodies, but technology is clearly working fast, because I didn't expect this to be able to exist in the year of 2026 at this point in the sport of cycling. So I am looking forward to seeing new progressions and evolutions in this, because this could actually change the way we look at safety in the sport of cycling, and it's necessary.
I mean, riders will want to use it because it'll be an aero fairing. When it's not deployed, then it creates like an aero fairing on their back, which riders are actually not allowed to use at the moment, but would make them quicker, and they're all about aero. But yeah, if it saves your hips, I mean, I did read some of the press release from the founder, and he's saying, it doesn't just deploy when you slide out. I was like, I probably want it to deploy when I slide out at 60. If I'm going to go to the trouble of wearing an airbag, I probably, when I slide out, also want my hip to be saved, rather than, because he said it was only if you like fall off a bridge, which also could have helped me. So if I'd had this, I probably might not have broken my back, which would have been sweet.
How injured would you be with this that day where you descended into a grandma?
Nah, I didn't hit her. I would.
You avoided her. Sorry, you avoided her and hurt yourself in the first place because you had to avoid her.
I mean, that was just skin off anyway, so that's fine. But I don't know. What's the danger of what happens if you have a false positive? Like you're just riding along in a sprint, and it goes off, and then no, seriously, you have to. That's why it's not good. This will be a process. But
Sagan Cavendish barrier.
Yeah.
Remember when Sagan barriered Cavendish on paper, but if it goes off, then
riders did pro cycling with no helmets.
It's crazy to me. Until was it
like not that long ago?
Until 2007 Paris-Nice, where someone passed away on a certain climb. Was it? I don't want to say the name. Is it Kivilev or something?
You mean until it was mandatory to wear a helmet in all times?
Andrei Kivilev died, I think, 22 years ago in Paris-Nice, and his death led to helmets being made mandatory.
Yeah. I mean, so, like, I played cricket with no helmet, the whole time.
Yeah, but
that was the biggest thing you did. You open the batting, and if a guy comes in, if he's bowling less than like 130, not wearing a helmet.
But no one's pretending you're the smartest person in the world, so
you walk out, and then that's the best thing you can do. You walk out, you get face to the first ball, and then you just call for the hat, and then you know the next ball you're getting a bouncer at your chin. You know, 100. Okay, but yeah, I mean, people will be skeptical. You'll be like, oh, but this isn't perfect now. Yeah, that's kind of how development and innovation works. And I think these will be in use soon, and they'll be mandatory in like 10 years. No free ads. Have you got anything else? I'd like to change my prediction for TDU. Can I change it?
What? Not Fisher Black. Oh my God! Did someone finish?
Narvaez did a good prologue.
Ooh, he did a very good prologue.
He's also the favorite for the race, so. But yeah.
Yeah,
I just don't think Fisher Black's going to drop in.
That Vine will ride away instead. I'm telling you, it's
Vine's about to do his
galaxy
prologue.
brain.
Should we do a live watch along of Jay Vine's prologue?
Okay, let's do it. I'm gonna get my laptop so I can actually.
Is he
you
on
can't
course?
even watch it.
Yeah, I can't. Javon just started 25 seconds ago. All right, let me load up the website that shall not be named.
Okay. I'm
By the
watching
time
live.
this is watching cycling in big 2026. Can you tell me what's happening?
Well, I'm seeing a rider finish right now. Australian champion Jay Vine is on the road. He's rolling around.
Yeah.
He's riding pretty solid, but I have no clue yet what the time check is going to be because can
What
I just
equipment's he
speak about
using?
the fact that he's using a road bike? Why is the road bike rule, by the way?
So they don't have to bring TT bikes to Australia.
Yeah, fair point. Okay. Why are there 2 time
And
checks
what-
in this prologue?
That's the crazy. There's 2 intermediate time checks. What?
That is
What,
crazy.
is he using a disc? Is he using a disc wheel?
It just went away, I'm afraid. So give me a second. He's turning. He's using a disc wheel. Yes, indeed.
Using disc. He is one. Okay. Simon Clark, by the way, he just finished. He's retiring.
Jay Vine on
this
4
TDU.
seconds at the first time check. Ay.
4 seconds.
And the second
Alright.
half is more technical, so I think it's not happening, buddy.
Second half's a little bit uphill though. He's trying to get into the into the hoods. Yeah, he's disc wheel, high socks.
Samuel
He's got
Watson's
a little bit of
cooking
a.
him.
Watson's just too good at prologues. I mean, Vernon though was close. Pithy's look good in the prologues, but yeah, just unlucky.
We picked Watson for today.
Nah,
so
Vine,
we had a
Vine
good
missed the
pick.
corner. Nah, Vine. Did you see Vine missed the corner?
Yeah, it's not the only rider that missed that corner, by the way. Lots of riders done so
Really?
today. Brennan as well, like went
like a
into it
pretty-
too early first.
Yeah, they missed the apex but all the riders did recce's this morning. If you go on Strava, all of them did a recce of the course, but maybe it's
Yeah.
just different doing it at race pace. Maybe I know it's on like the old
I'm sorry.
F1 circuit. I think
Who is James Brennan?
James Brennan.
Once again, Vine. That corner? Not the greatest.
I don't think he's not going to beat Narvaez because Narvaez is so
finished on-
explosive that he finished on 8 seconds. He finished 2 seconds behind Fisher Black. That's crazy.
It's a pretty good time trial, buddy.
Yeah, it's a really good TT because he's small and but he's explosive, so that helps. Pierre Gautrat and Schmidt. Maybe I'll change to Schmidt.
Ooh. Joe Timms went for Schmidt yesterday. For context, my
Oh, yeah?
editor and fellow YouTuber, he picked Schmidt the other day.
Sam Watson's looking confident. Ineos going to take the first World Tour winner 2026 with the prologue specialist, Sam Watson. I very much doubt Vine's going to, but it's all about what time he's going to take
Tim
back.
Rex is a skyscraper. I couldn't even say the word. He's gigantic.
Low cadence.
Yeah, that's true. Where's Vine though? We got to wrap this podcast up. Come on, Vine. Ride a bit faster.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Vine to finish.
Lowest watch along ever. There he is, our buddy. Still on the bike, so that's
You're
a
ahead
win.
of me.
Okay, I'll shut up.
I
I
need
won't spoil it.
I need the thing to tickle down.
It's tickling down. You can
Oh,
say
18,
so. Come
17 seconds. 15 seconds. Where have I'm not tuned in. Where have they pulled it from? Oh, he's at 200 meters.
on.
Oh, this is a good time. 5, 4. Oh no, can I change my pick for GC again?
To who? Not to. But Vine's
I need
my
to change
pick.
my pick for GC again.
My pick's fine, but you can't take him. I'm sorry.
David Vine did a good time.
Just go for Fisher
I don't
Black.
think the corners. He didn't. He didn't. Yeah,
How about
cost
this? We
himself 4
switch.
seconds in the corners. But
If you pick Vine, I'll pick Fisher Black.
I'm staying. I'm gonna go with. No, I'm gonna go. I'm staying with Narvaez. I think just Bonies from sprints will decide it.
Anyway,
all right, that was
our
our
watch along.
preview of TDU. Yeah, that was a bit of watch along. Hope you enjoyed it, and go check out the Join new webpage, the Join plan if you're already an active subscriber, and we'll see you probably next week. Until then, ciao.